There are moments in life when everything looks quiet on the outside, but inside, a storm is growing. You wake up early, you do what you must do, you smile when people are watching, but deep inside, you feel something heavy. Maybe it is a dream you once had, a dream you were excited about, a dream you talked about at night when no one could hear you. And now, that dream feels far away. You may think, maybe I am too late, or maybe I am not good enough, or even worse, maybe this life is all I will ever have. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever felt stuck between who you are today and who you want to become? Have you ever wanted to change your life but didn't know where to start? Have you ever felt that your English, your confidence, or your fear was holding you back? If yes, you are not alone. And more importantly, you are not broken. Many people believe that success belongs only to the talented, the lucky, or the perfect speakers, but that is not true. Real change does not begin with perfect English. It does not begin with big money. It does not begin with confidence. It begins with one small decision, a quiet decision, a decision to keep going one step at a time. In this story, you will not hear about magic success or overnight miracles. You will hear about struggle. You will hear about fear. You will hear about mistakes. But you will also hear about growth, about courage, about how simple English, slow, imperfect, human English can become a bridge to a better life. This is not just a motivational story. This is a learning journey, a story that helps you improve your English while reminding you of your strength. So take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. You don't need to understand every word. You don't need to be perfect. Just stay with me, because this story might feel more familiar than you expect. Welcome to English Speakcast. This is a place where stories are slow, clear, and human. A place where English is not a test, but a tool for connection, confidence, and change. The story you are about to hear is not about a famous person. It is not about someone special or gifted. It is about an ordinary person, just like you, just like me. This is a life story, a story of small steps, quiet fears, and steady growth. A story about chasing dreams while learning a new language. As you listen, you will hear simple English, everyday words, real emotions, the kind of English people use in real life, not in textbooks. You will learn how thoughts sound in English, how feelings are expressed, how courage is spoken, softly, not loudly. And if you are a beginner, please hear this clearly. You are welcome here. You do not need perfect grammar. You do not need a big vocabulary. You do not need confidence. You only need curiosity and a little patience with yourself. This story will help you practice listening. It will help you feel English, not just study it. You may notice phrases repeating. That is intentional. Repetition builds understanding. Understanding builds confidence. But this journey is not only about language. It is also about life. You will hear how self-doubt sounds. You will hear how fear speaks. And you will hear how hope slowly finds its voice. The most important message of this story is simple. You don't need perfect English to change your life. You just need to begin. So listen slowly, let the words flow, and remember, this is not a race. This is your journey, and it starts right here, When this story begins, the main character is 26 years old. Not very young, not very old, just old enough to feel pressure. His name is Arif. Arif grew up in a small neighborhood where life was simple but dreams were heavy. People around him worked hard, rested little, and expected life to stay the same. Most days followed the same routine: wake up, work, eat, sleep. But Arif was different. Inside him lived a quiet dream, a dream of change, a dream of a better future. He wanted a life where he could speak confidently, a life where he could travel, a life where he could work with people from different countries, a life where he felt proud of himself. But every dream has a shadow, and Arif's shadow was fear. He came from a family with limited money. Every month was a calculation: rent, food, electricity. There was no space for mistakes. People often said to him, "Be realistic. Dreams don't pay bills. Why are you wasting time?" And slowly, those voices became his own. At night, Arif lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. His phone was in his hand. He watched videos of people speaking English confidently. He watched people living the life he wanted. And then he closed the phone. "I can't do that," he whispered. "My English is bad. I sound stupid. I will fail." During the day, Arif worked a job that paid little and demanded much. His boss spoke fast. His coworkers joked in English sometimes. When they laughed, Arif smiled, but he did not understand. He nodded even when he was confused. He stayed quiet even when he had ideas. Silence felt safer than mistakes. Inside, his heart felt heavy. "I feel lost," he thought. "I don't believe in myself. Everything feels impossible." These were not dramatic thoughts. They were quiet, constant, like a slow rain that never stops. One afternoon, something happened. Arif was asked to help with a simple task at work, something involving a short English message to a client. Nothing difficult, just a few sentences. But his hands started shaking. He wrote the message, deleted it, wrote again, deleted again. What if it's wrong? What if they laugh? What if I lose this job? Time passed. The boss asked, "Is it done?" Arif said yes, but it was a lie. In the end, someone else sent the message. Arif stood there, feeling small. That night, he went home later than usual. The streets were quiet. The lights felt dim. When he reached his room, he sat on the floor. He didn't turn on the light. For the first time in a long time, he let himself feel everything. The fear, the shame, the disappointment. He thought, "I am tired of being afraid. I am tired of hiding. I am tired of watching life instead of living it." Tears came, not loudly, but honestly. This was his lowest point. Not because he failed, but because he stopped believing he could try. In that quiet room, Arif faced a decision. He could continue like this, safe, silent, stuck. Or he could try, knowing he might fail. He didn't feel brave. He didn't feel confident, but he felt something else. Enough. Enough fear. Enough waiting. Enough excuses. He stood up, turned on the light, and looked at himself in the mirror. "I don't know how," he said softly, "but I will start." That night did not change his life. Nothing magical happened, but something important did. He made a decision. And sometimes, that is where dreams truly begin. The next morning did not feel special. The sun rose the same way. The streets looked the same. Arif still felt nervous. But inside his mind, one small sentence was waiting. A sentence he had never allowed himself to believe before. "I'm learning not failing. It was a simple sentence, short, quiet, but it stayed with him. On the bus to work, he repeated it in his head. I'm learning, not failing. Not loudly, not perfectly, just honestly. For the first time, Arif understood something important. Language is not only for speaking to others. Language is also for speaking to yourself. For years, his inner voice had been harsh. You are bad at English. You will never improve. Don't try. You will embarrass yourself. Those sentences shaped his fear. Now he wanted to try something new. When fear appeared, he answered it. This is difficult but not impossible. One step at a time. I don't need to be perfect. At first, these words felt strange, almost fake, but repetition changes meaning. He wrote these sentences on a small piece of paper. He kept it in his pocket. When his heart beat faster, he touched the paper. This is difficult but not impossible. Let me pause the story for a moment. If you are listening right now, I want you to try something. Say this sentence slowly with me. I'm learning, not failing. Again, I'm learning, not failing. Feel how it sounds. Gentle, kind. Now this one. This is difficult but not impossible. And one more. One step at a time. These are not just English sentences, they are directions. They point you forward when fear pulls you back. Arif began using English differently, not to impress people, not to sound smart, but to guide himself. When he made a mistake, he did not say, I'm stupid, he said, I'm learning. When he didn't understand something, he didn't quit. He said, one step at a time. Slowly, something changed. His shoulders felt lighter. His breathing felt calmer. The world did not change, but his way of seeing it did. At work, when English conversations started, he still felt nervous, but he stayed. He listened. When he didn't understand, he said a simple sentence. Sorry, can you say that again? It was not perfect, but it was brave. Each time he spoke, even a little, his confidence grew. Not fast, but real. He realized something important. English was not a wall, it was a compass. It didn't block his path, it showed him where to go. And every small sentence helped him walk forward. Mindset opened the door, but action had to walk through it. Arif understood something now. Thinking differently was powerful, but not enough. If he wanted change, he had to use English, not just study it. So he started small, very small. Every morning before work, he spoke to himself in English for 5 minutes. Not long sentences, not difficult grammar. Simple things. Today is Monday. I feel nervous, but I will try. I want to improve. At first, it felt strange, like talking to an empty room. But the room was not empty. It was listening. Then he moved to the next step. Messages. When his coworkers used English in short messages, Arif did not stay silent anymore. He replied with simple sentences. Okay, I understand. I will do it. Thank you. Sometimes there were mistakes. Sometimes autocorrect helped. Sometimes it didn't. But something important happened. No one laughed. No one shouted. The world did not end. That gave him courage. One afternoon, a coworker asked him a question in English. A simple question. Can you help me with this? Arif's heart beat faster. In the past, he would say, I'm busy, or pretend not to hear. This time, he said, yes, just a moment. His voice was not strong, but it was clear. They worked together quietly. There were pauses. There were slow explanations. At one point, Arif didn't understand. He took a breath and said, Sorry, I don't understand. Can you explain again? The coworker smiled. Of course. That smile stayed with Arif all day. It was not a big success, but it was a bridge. Later that month, something bigger happened. There was a small meeting at work. Nothing formal, just a few people sharing ideas. Arif had an idea, a good one. His hands felt cold. His mind said, don't speak. But another voice answered, one step at a time. When there was a pause, Arif spoke. I have an idea, he said slowly. We can try this way. The room was quiet. Then someone said, That's interesting. Arif felt something warm in his chest. Not pride, not confidence, permission. He was allowed to be there. Of course, not everything went well. One day, Arif sent a message with a mistake, a big mistake. The reply came quickly. I don't understand. His face burned. In the past, this would stop him for weeks. This time, he replied, Sorry about that. Let me explain again. And he did. Clear, simple, honest. The mistake became a conversation, not a failure. Arif learned an important lesson. English is not about perfection. It is about connection. You don't need big words. You need clear meaning. I need help. I have a question. Can you explain? These sentences are powerful. Slowly, English stopped being scary. It became useful, like a tool, like a bridge. Each word helped him cross from silence to participation, from fear to presence. And with every bridge he built, his dream felt closer. Not close, but possible. Change rarely arrives with loud music or bright lights. Most of the time it comes quietly. For Arif, the breakthrough did not happen on a special day. It happened on an ordinary morning. He arrived at work and was called into a small room. His manager was there, another colleague too. In the past, this moment would have filled him with fear. His heart would race, his mind would go empty. But this time, something was different. The manager spoke in English, calmly, clearly. We've noticed something, she said. You communicate more now. You help others. You try. Arif listened. He understood almost everything. And when he didn't, he asked, Sorry, can you repeat that last part? She smiled and repeated it. Then she said something Arif never expected to hear. We want you to take more responsibility. For a moment, Arif could not speak, not because of English, because of emotion. All the late nights, all the fear, all the small steps, they were seen. I will try my best, he said. His sentence was simple, but it was enough. From that day, things slowly changed. He joined more conversations. He shared more ideas. He spoke, still slowly, but with purpose. One afternoon, a new employee joined the team. She looked nervous, quiet. Arif noticed. During a break, he spoke to her. It's okay to feel nervous, he said. I felt the same. She smiled with relief. In that moment, Arif realized something powerful. He was no longer just surviving, he was helping. That night he walked home with a lighter heart. The same streets, the same lights, but he was not the same person. He remembered the man who once sat in a dark room feeling lost, the man who whispered, "Everything feels impossible." And he looked at himself now, not perfect, not fearless, but moving. Gratitude filled his chest, not for success, but for consistency, not for talent, but for courage. Arif understood the lesson clearly now. Dreams are not reached in one big jump. They are reached through small, repeated steps. Communication, practice, patience. English did not change his life by itself, but it gave him a voice, and with a voice, he could walk toward his dream. This story is not just about Arif. It was never only about him. This story is about you. Maybe your life looks different. Maybe your job is different. Maybe your dream has a different shape. But the feeling, the fear, the hesitation, that part is the same. You may be listening right now and thinking, I want more. I want to change, but I'm afraid. That fear is human. It does not mean you are weak. It means you care. Arif did not wake up confident one day. He did not suddenly become fluent. He did not wait until he was ready. He started before he felt ready. And you can too. Your story does not need a perfect beginning. It only needs an honest one. You can start by speaking English for 1 minute a day, even alone, even quietly. You can learn phrases instead of rules. Not everything, just something. How are you? I'm learning. Please give me some time. You can use English to think, not just to speak. Talk to yourself with kindness. I'm improving, 1 step at a time. This is difficult, but not impossible. Do not pressure yourself to be fast. Do not compare yourself to others. Progress is personal. Courage is quiet. Some days you will feel strong. Some days you will feel tired. Both are okay. Remember, your goal is not perfection. Your goal is movement. Not loud movement, not big movement. Just forward. Your English does not need to be beautiful to be powerful. It needs to be used. And every time you use it, you build confidence, you build connection, you build your future. Your story is waiting, and it starts now. As we reach the end of this story, take a moment to breathe. Sit back, relax, and let the words settle. Arif's journey was not about speed. It was not about perfection. It was about small steps taken again and again, even when fear was present. And now, as you listen, you can see yourself in his story. The quiet moments of doubt, the small victories, the courage that grows slowly, almost imperceptibly, until one day it feels natural. Your journey in English and in life can be just like this. Gentle, patient, and persistent. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start, and keep starting day after day. If this story inspired you even a little, stay with us. There are many more stories waiting, stories that teach English through real life, stories that show the power of courage, kindness, and persistence. Every story is a step. Every word is a bridge. Every day is a new chance to move forward. So, take a deep breath, carry this feeling with you, and remember, your dream is possible. Your voice matters. Your story is beginning today. If you'd like to continue learning and growing with us, subscribe gently, explore more stories, and remember, English is your tool, not your limit. Thank you for listening. Keep moving forward, keep speaking, and remember, you are not alone on this journey. The journey continues, and so does your story.